Hello, and welcome to that Eurovision podcast, Eurovision with a Slice of Life. My name is Rory, and I'm doing not too bad today. I am just after coming out of the shower, so I feel very clean, and I feel very happy, and just ready to sort of recap everything that's been going on, because as we're entering national final season, it's just becoming more and more and more just like, I don't even know what's the right way of saying it, just... There's so much stuff going on that I don't even know what's going on in my life anymore. But yeah, joining me,
Jazzy. I've just done my daily exercise for the day. Went for a lovely walk. It's not that cold today, so it was quite a pleasant walk, and it hasn't been raining, which it has been doing all week. So for the first time in quite a while, it was quite a pleasant walk.
Ooh, this is always good to know, isn't it? It's like, let's just get out and just get into the sunshine, even if it's very bleak.
Go touch some grass.
It's not covered in the white stuff.
Oh no, not at all.
Hi, it's Rosie. I have just finished work for the day. I've just started teaching again for this term, so I am exhausted and very happy to be talking about something that, while it uses my brain, uses a different bit of my brain instead.
Doesn't completely drain all of your energy.
Yes, I've spent 4 hours talking about the criminal justice system today, and now I just want to, not.
Oh my god, honestly, I don't blame you then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, obviously, Tim must have been in your class or something like that, because he's not here again today. Maybe he's too busy.
That's probably it. That's almost certainly why.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But yes, unfortunately, we don't have a Tim today just because of so much stuff that's been going on. To be fair, he's also probably been lost in the witch woods as well for a while, so I feel like it could be that.
Maybe he's been chopped like they chop wood.
Oh my god, no. If anyone comes across any bits of Tim, please let us know, please. Oh dear. But yes, we are back at it again. It is a Saturday, and we are ready to go and recap pretty much everything that's been going on now in Eurovision world for the last 7 days. So are we good to go?
We're good to go.
And yeah, now this week we are being led by Rosie. So take it away, Rosie.
So the biggest piece of news that we've had this week is we have finally a second entry. About a month after Karma got revealed for Albania, we now have Set Me Free from Israel. And this is performed by Eden Elena, who did a 3-song final with La La Love and We La La as well. Set Me Free won by a massive margin. It got 71.3% of the votes, compared to La La Love, which got 17.2%, and We La La, which got 11.5%. How do we feel about this?
I'm just confused. I'm really confused, because out of the 3 songs, this was the one that I saw literally no hype for on the time, on my Twitter timeline.
Obviously, you must have muted Tim then.
Yeah, it's just everyone was like, "Oh, it's going to be Ooh La La or La La Love," and I thought, "Oh, it'd be La La Love," because Israel seemed to love it. But no, it clearly wasn't what the Israeli public were looking for. Although I think that it was open to international voters, so I think that's even an even bigger surprise that this is what ended up winning. As for my opinions on the song, it's okay. It's not a bad song, but it's definitely not something that grabs my attention either. I said this in the article that we posted the other day. I'm not sure whether it will stand out in the semi-final, and the song is still competent. However, I'm very dubious of how well it will do at Eurovision. But there is plenty of time to give it a revamp, and maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I kind of hope they do.
I mean, okay, so I was live tweeting throughout the show of Hashir Shelanu l'Eurovision. I don't know whether that actually sounded even somewhat similar to resembling Hebrew, but you know, we'll go with it. I think, like most people, was completely sort of blindsided by the idea that Set Me Free even won. I did say when I was live tweeting that, you know, there is a lot of potential for her as like a vocalist in the song. So, and I did feel like there were people who were giving it a lot more hate than it's like maybe deserved. So I didn't entirely discount it, but I will say by having that song win by such a margin, it's very strange, especially given like how Jazzy said, there was like practically zero hype for that song at all. You know, I think the majority of the fandom was very much split between We La La and La La Love. And then, like, the homegrown population, I didn't see anything, like, about loving Set Me Free. So I'm kind of surprised, really. Like I said in the article that came out in the following its selection, I still am cautiously optimistic. The more I listen to it, the more I enjoy it. I do find myself getting a bit turned off by like the reggaeton sort of vibe in the second verse, but I think they have got potential that if they were to revamp it, then they could sort of iron out some of the issues that some of the fans or maybe some other ones have sort of come up with, I guess. So then, you know, it would be the most palatable, most what's the right way of saying, wide-reaching version of the song. Jeez, I feel if this is the case, then I don't think the Israeli national final saga is going to end anytime soon. But honestly, I'm happy for Eden that she has a song. I'm not necessarily sure if she particularly wanted that song to win, given her reactions. But I'm just glad that we've got a second song now.
Bring on every single top 2 video on YouTube ever. Yeah, I'm very much on the same page as both Jazzy and Rory. I think it's fine. There is nothing about it that really stands out to me. I think it's really going to rely very heavily on a good stage performance and on Eden's voice, which is incredible. And there is no doubting how great a performer she is. We saw that last year. But yeah, it did surprise me. And I feel like it's the most conventional of all of the songs that she had in the running. That might be very good. It might have a very universal appeal. It might also mean it just gets very lost amongst a lot of the other songs that it's up against. But I feel like we're only 2 songs in. We've got so many more songs left to be released or to be announced. And it's going to very much depend on what it's going to be up against.
And I think it's, of course, as well, with the 2 songs that are currently out, you know, Albania is in semi-final 2 and Israel's in semi-final 1. So they're not even in the same semi-final for us to even compare the 2. So, but I think as songs start to come out now, then we'll have there'll be a better and a clearer picture of like what this year is going to be like, and then we'll find out if it does stand a chance or if it's going to be a borderline, as some people I've seen say.
Speaking of more songs being chosen, we have another song that's going to be coming tonight, and this is because Eurovision C'est vous qui décidez is going to be held. There are, is it 12 acts or 10 acts? I think it's 12.
I think it's 12.
Yeah, there are 12 acts competing to be France's Eurovision entrant. And yeah, what are your thoughts on them? Are there any that are really standing out to you, or do you think that it's quite a wide open field?
For me, I think it's kind of, a lot of people have very much said that Barbara Pravi is going to win, and given the fact that, you know, she wrote the winning song for Valentina in Junior Eurovision last year, and given how there's been so much hype for Barbara, like in all of the fandom, I just can't see any other song kind of immediately sort of challenging. But I obviously, like, it would be the most sort of stereotypical French song I think could win. Obviously, you know, she handles it very well. She gives off a very sort of Edith Piaf vibe, and, you know, as well, we've seen it with Patricia Cass in 2009. Like, Europe likes that kind of style. If I was to pick another song to win, I would love it if Casanova did really, really well. Tutti, I've listened to Tutti far more than I have any other song in this national selection. I think it has a far more Eurovision-y vibe, and it's a lot more sort of positive, and it's a lot more happy and upbeat. And not to mention as well the lyrics in Corsican as well, which is what we love to see. I think for Casanova to do really well, then that means that a lot of things have to go badly for Barbara, and I'm not 100% sure if that's going to happen, but I'm still going to wave my Corsican flag if I had one. So those are who I'm most considering to go, but who knows, maybe we might have a complete shock and we'll end up having like Cefaz win or something, just a complete outsider, who knows.
And for once, I'm in agreement with Rory. I do believe that Barbara Pravi will win the national final with Voila. I just don't see another outcome at the moment. And again, like Rory, if something was to go terribly wrong if Voila didn't win, I see Tutti winning. And I do think Tutti would give them, out of all the songs that they've got in their national selection, I think Tutti would also give France the best result. And it's the best choice for Eurovision. It's the most competitive. I think that televoters would really hang on to the chorus. It's a really catchy song. Yeah, it just depends what France are thinking. Are France wanting to send a song that's stereotypically them and they're not really bothered about how well they do? Or do France want to do well and want to look at their best chance? And I think that's what's going to come into play tonight.
I'm going to be I'm always honest here, but I listened to the songs once and I've not had any urge to listen to any of them again.
Ooh.
There's none that I think are particularly bad. Just none of them stand out to me. Some of them are very nice songs. I think Voila is a lovely song. I think Tutti is a lovely song. I enjoy Amour Fou. I enjoy Meva. I like the songs, but I don't care about any of them. And I'm really hoping that something changes when I watch the final, because I'm hoping that they really sort of come alive on stage, where they've got that more sort of powerful performance element, and the people who are performing are really actively trying to do really well. Because right now, none of them have caught me. And I think France's Eurovision entries, when they are good, are really good. Like, they're usually in my top 5, top 10 if I really like their song. Otherwise, they just really fade into the background. And I have a feeling a lot of these songs might do that for me. And I feel quite upset to say that, because I would like France to do well.
Yeah.
I don't wish ill on any country in Eurovision. I want all countries to do well. I want all of them to send good songs. But yeah, it would be nice for them to do well.
And I think as well, like, in terms of the live performances that we already have, as of the time we're recording, they are the studio versions layered on audition tapes. So, of course, like, in terms of staging and in terms of the way that they would want to convey their song, it is a little bit sort of elementary. So we don't really know what their sort of plans are. So I'm really looking forward to watching the show tonight and actually see what sort of staging so many of them are going to have. I've seen a couple of screenshots on Instagram, but I'm keeping my eyes peeled. Let's just put it that way.
Peel your eyes, Rory.
Yeah, you know it.
So as well as France this weekend, we also are continuing with the both Melody Grand Prix and Pabán Domyślnoyo. With Melody Grand Prix, it is the Heat 3 songs that we are going to be seeing performed. And last week we had Heat 2, obviously. That's kind of first comes 2, then comes 3. And the winner that advanced from Heat 2 was Rayleigh with Hero. Do you think she was the right choice?
Yes. I think that performance was so good. And it was nice to see MGP for the first time, because obviously I didn't watch it in the first week. And yeah, I feel like she gave the best performance of the night, and that's including the automatic qualifier. I think she should have been the automatic qualifier, but that's another conversation. But yeah, just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at all of the performances, I think it was pretty safe to say that Rayleigh was going to win this heat. Obviously, it gives me very... not burlesque. You know the film that I think she was trying to give a hint to it in terms of, you know, when she sat on the chair. Yeah. And then
it was very 80s vibes.
Yeah. But do you know what? I mean, she gave it a fantastic performance, and I'm very proud that she's, you know, managed to make it in, because I feel like she obviously deserved it. And nothing will ever make me cackle more than that video of just her walking back out just in towels and like her hair all up in like a bow, and like, oh, I'm just cold now.
No.
Oh dear.
I really wish the final duel had been Rayleigh versus Maria Solheim, but we can't have it all.
Some of us aren't allowed nice things.
But Maria is still up there for the wild card, so that'll be...
Exactly.
That is true.
So this week we have 4 new songs plus another pre-qualified song. Our 4 songs this week are Own Yourself by Deny, Smile by Big Daddy Carsten, Vier Noge by Ola Hearts, and Witchwoods by Emmy. Have you had a listen to these songs, and which ones are standing out to you?
Vier Nog, I love it. I really want this to win tomorrow. However, I'm not sure if it will. I think Witchwoods will win because it has a really catchy hook. Also, Vier Nog winning would be very good because a lot of the songs are already in Norwegian are being translated into English for the final. And I want some Norwegian in the final.
I want some Norwegian in Eurovision. The last time there was 2006.
Alvedonsen slaps.
It does, though.
This is an Alvedonsen hype podcast.
Please, Christian Goldbranson, please come back. But yeah, I had a quick listen to sort of snippets of the songs, and I think out of all of them, I was a little bit sort of underwhelmed, I think, by a lot of the songs that were in these ones. I think Vier Norge is like the best of a bad bunch with these. I've seen a lot of like hype for Witchwoods, and I can obviously see why, but also at the same time, it just feels a little bit too commercial maybe for me. So I feel like maybe they needed to switch up. I think, though, it probably will come down to between Ola, Hearts, and Emmy in terms of like the gold duel, but I think it could be anyone's guess as, you know, who's going to get through. So that's going to make for some very interesting viewing.
Yeah, I feel like Vier Noge and Witchwoods are the 2 massive standouts for this particular semi. Own Yourself is a fun song. Smile is also quite a fun song, but I have a particular pet hatred for songs that are, you know, the sort of What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction, where it's just like, oh, you're beautiful, but you don't know it. And you're better than everyone else, but you don't know it. And that's what makes you even hotter. I have a real pet hate for those sorts of songs. So as much as I like Smile from a tune standpoint, I hate the lyrics. But Via Norge...
Who doesn't love a big daddy, you know? Just say it.
Anna Stondamina is shaking. I've really gotten into Vemi Samos in the last couple of weeks. So, yeah.
Good choice.
But yeah, Via Norge feels like it was written for me. I love it. It's a folky type song with a heavy violin, a big sort of rousing chorus, and lyrics that are really, really quite fun. It's all about sort of taking the piss of Norwegian stereotypes, if you've not looked up the lyrics, and they're really good fun. Yeah, very me.
I feel like whoever doesn't win out of Ollie and Emmy will be a big favourite for the wild card, because there's such a split between the two.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I feel like Witchwoods for me is a song. I don't know what it is about it. I feel like I should really dislike it, but actually I love it. There's something about it that it sort of feels like it presses a lot of my buttons for songs that I don't really get on with. But for some reason, it really works for me. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how they perform this live. And we also have our pre-qualified song, which is Kaya Road with Feel Again. Has anyone been able to listen to this yet? Because I haven't.
I listened to the first minute and 30. I think it's an okay song. Again, I questioned why it's an automatic qualifier, because it's like one of those songs. It's there, it's nice, it's not going to do anything in MGP.
Yeah, I haven't heard it either, so unfortunately I have no opinion to give on that.
Let's move on to the next point. So also this weekend, we have the semi-final of Pabandomishnoyo. As we had the second heat last week, we have 5 more acts who have made it into the semi-final, who are Esti Brokenleg, Nobertus, Gebrasi, Evita Colodo, and Gabrielius Vagelis, or Vagelis.
Very dangerous game to be playing there.
Yeah,
it is quite. How do you feel about who qualified from the previous heat, and what do you think the semi-final is going to be looking like? Who are your favourites?
I think Gabrasi will win the semi-final and then come second to the group. And I feel that's all, like when it comes to the final, and I feel that's all you kind of got to say. Because it really feels like the group are going to, like, storm this national final. They're going to win. Although, part of me is just like, there's got to be one national final where it's going to go really wrong. And with Lithuania can be unpredictable, so I'm thinking, could it be Lithuania?
I don't know, because the Roop is, like so popular in Lithuania now, you know?
Yeah.
And the videos had over 1.5 million views already.
And that's only within the space of a week?
Yeah.
Isn't it like the most watched video in Lithuania in like the space of 7 days or something? I heard it had broken like a YouTube record.
Yeah. I think we all kind of knew that as soon as the group said that they were going to be in Pabandomishnoyo, that it was going to immediately be, the group versus whoever the second place is going to be, In terms of the selection, like in terms of the heat, I've actually not really listened to any of the songs that qualified. Instead, I'm listening to Cosmic Bride and Solitary Star a lot more, and Gabriela Goshkutaita as well with Freedom. Those two are a lot more hard-hitting for me than songs like Ice the Broken Leg. For me, that was just not I don't know how that managed to get in, but you know, I guess.
Sorry, you wound me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just not my kind of music. But in terms of the semi-final, I think Gebrasi probably will win the semi-final. But I do think, though, there are obviously like a couple of other songs that are still quite good songs. Like, for example, you know, Martina, Milita, Voldemar's, Peterson's as well. Maybe Gabrielas, but I'm not sure given how he just looks like this kind of Parisian style guy that should really be in Emily in Paris, if you know what I mean. If you don't know what I mean, you need to watch Emily in Paris on Netflix, and then you can understand how shit the Americans think the Europeans are. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the results, but I do think this is the groups to lose.
I absolutely agree. I do feel like so last weekend I watched my first ever Pavando Mishnoyo and did the commentary on our Twitter. And certainly from what I've seen of the first semi compared to this one, I feel like all 10 of these pretty much beat all 10 of the first semi-final. Like there were a few that I think could possibly be sort of borderline, but I felt this was so much more of a stronger heat than the previous week. I feel like the word that really summed up the entire heat was vibes. It was very heavily sort of very chilled out music, very sort of a mixture of sort of calm or a bit ethereal. I also am very disappointed that Solitary Star by Cosmic Bride did not go through. I thought that song is gorgeous. But Ace to Broken Legs was definitely my favorite of that particular heat because I thought it was just so different and fun, and her voice is so interesting and very unique, and it just felt refreshing to me to watch. So I'm looking forward to hearing that again, and please put it on Spotify because I need to hear it again.
Well, Solitary Star is now on Spotify, so now you can listen to that to your heart's content.
Which I have very much been doing.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Whenever I've not been, I keep getting drawn back to discotheque. I feel like I listen to Spotify while I'm working a lot at the moment, and I'm sort of listening to music and I'm like, ooh, I want to listen to discotheque. And I listen to it, and then about half an hour later, I fancy listening to discotheque again. And I just keep being drawn back and drawn back and drawn back.
I think it really, it couldn't be anyone else but the group, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. The final is, by the time this comes out, the final will be this day next week. So, you know, who...
Top 4! Eurovision top 4!
Oh, yeah. See, it'll be so strange that now, you know, songs are starting to trickle out, and this is what we love to see.
It's very exciting.
And I'm guessing that the majority of the qualifiers from the semi will come from the second rather than the first, because the second's just been hyped up a lot more. Although I think Voldemir's, Peterson's will probably also get through. It's 5 qualifiers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that sort of concludes the larger aspects of the news and what's been going on over the last week. But we've also had some other announcements from a wide variety of broadcasters and artists as well. So the first one we're going to go to is Spain. And Blas Canto has revealed that he is going to be doing a 2-song national final in February. Senhit is like...
Senhit's
shook at this plagiarism. but yeah, they are going to be doing 2 songs, and it will be a public vote to determine which song is going to be sent in 2021 to Rotterdam.
I'm interested to see what it's going to be like because Spain isn't necessarily a country that hasn't done this kind of this national final before because we've seen it before with Pastor Soler in 2012. That was only like a 3-song national final. What I'm interested in is to see what sort of vibe he's going to go down because he's a lot more ballad driven than sort of upbeat driven. But given how, the world is a little bit down at the moment, I think maybe it might be for the best that maybe one of those songs could potentially be an upbeat song. In which case, then I think it'll be quite likely that Spain will end up sending that song. But I'm interested to see what he's doing, I was a little bit lukewarm with Universo last year, but I know that he's an incredible vocalist. So no matter what he gives us, it's going to, be a very good representation of Spain. But what I'm just not looking forward to is having to cover that national final when it's supposed to go on for 2 hours and we're only supposed to have 2 competing songs.
San Remo is facing some competition.
And we know this national final will be on late as well. Because it's Spain.
It's Spain. 2 a.m. start.
We would not be shocked.
The other big sort of news we got from broadcasters this week is that Natalia Gordienko is going to be returning for Moldova. And she will be performing a song that is written by the Dream Team because it's Moldova and that's a thing they do. How do you feel about this?
I'm happy that they're standing by their artist. I liked Prison a lot more than the rest of the fandom did. And I thought it was kind of impactful. And obviously she's a great vocalist. We saw this with Prison. So I'm excited. I do want... And with Moldova, and obviously she represented them in 2006 as well. So this could really go either way. It could be a ballad. It could be a bop. So it'll be exciting to see what she goes for.
Yeah, I wasn't really the biggest fan of Prison, but we knew that Natalia was going to be winning that national final last year regardless, just because it had backed by, Philip Kirkorov, and Philip Kirkorov obviously carries a lot of weight in Moldova somehow. But I'm glad that, TRM completely, confirmed it, because we'd seen sort of hints at it, like that TRM had, followed suit and confirmed Natalia, beforehand. But then there was kind of a bit of uncertainty, but now that it's actually been 100% confirmed, it's fantastic to see that, broadcasters standing by their artists. I am hoping that potentially maybe, we might get a little bit more of a conventional banger from Natalia last year, because God knows what was that time signature in Prison. I have no idea how that song is structured. But I'm interested, and I'm happy to see her back, and I'm hoping that she gets the redemption that she deserves after whatever the hell Loca was in 2006. How about you, Rosie?
I feel like it's great that she's coming back, and we'll see what happens. I feel like just knowing that she's returning is just excellent. You are standing by the artist that you chose last year. And I think we really need to wait for more information on the song before we can really say what sort of thing she's going to be going for. Dream Team songs can certainly go in a little bit of a mixed direction for me. They've been a bit of a mixed bag. But like I say, I always want people to have good songs, and I always want people to do well and countries to do well and to put their best artists forward and their best entries forward. So I hope that they will do that.
Beautiful.
And so a couple of other song release dates we've also had come out as well. So Dathi Freya has said that his song is going to be released on the 13th of March. And Leslie Roy, shout out to Leslie Roy, that Eurovision podcast favourite, Leslie Roy. has also said that her song will be being released at some point in March.
I think I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing. Of course, like Iceland is keeping it to the very last moment, sort of, keep the suspense up. But I'm excited to see what they're doing. Obviously, we've heard a lot of things as rumblings as well from Leslie, thinking, she might go maybe in a different genre. And then Daddy being able to include so many fans as well in terms of like the choir that he wanted. So I'm hyped,
I just don't want to wait so long. I'm so impatient.
I know. It feels like all the internals are coming in March. Anyway.
They always do.
Yeah. I'm thinking I really hope I like Daddy's song more than I like Think About Things. I wasn't the biggest fan, as I've said in the past. But I really want to get behind the hype, Leslie Roy, I loved her song last year, so I'm really excited to see what she brings, and excited to see what direction she's going to go in, because again, it could be any direction possible, so I'm excited.
And the other song release date we've had is from Cyprus, who have said that El Diablo, which is Elena Sangrinu's entry, will be releasing on the 24th of February.
Still a bit late, but
It's not March.
Still February.
I'm excited for this one. I think it's going to have like a Spanishy vibe. I don't know if it'll be up tempo or it'll be mid tempo, like sultry type vibe. But I'm excited. It'll be one of the two. So,
if I'm being honest, I actually did forget that Cyprus was still there. Because you see it on the Wikipedia saying, "Oh, Elena Sagrinu," and then El Diablo is like, "Oh, yeah, that's not been released yet." Like, oh, okay, right, never mind.
I have a feeling that they are very much still trying to replicate that formula that they seem to find success with Fuego and Replay. And I'm not a huge fan of that sort of genre, so I'm really hoping that it does do something that is a bit different and a little bit more interesting. But certainly the images that they've released so far have been quite interesting, quite dark. So if it sort of reflects the sort of song that they're going for, that might be quite interesting.
Like, the vibe I'm getting from the pictures is this is going to be quite something quite like sexy and sultry, and with the title with that as well.
Maroov 2.0?
Ooh,
maybe.
Possibly.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And the other country that is going to be releasing their song in February, though we don't quite know what the song is going to be yet, is Bulgaria. Victoria, who is Bulgaria's entry for 2021, is going to be releasing her EP, which is called A Little Dramatic, in February. And this will have her Eurovision song on it. Whether we will know what that song is when the EP gets released, or whether they're going to wait and see what the public reactions are, we don't quite know yet. But another song will be coming out before March.
Can they not, wait so long to, the last moment to release all of their songs, please? Like, you have, from September. So can we not sort of spread this out, please?
I just want the BBC to give us some news. I was just saying, I just want the BBC to give us something. I feel like every country has given us something, and we've got nothing.
Nothing.
My favourite thing at the moment on Twitter is the person, I think it's Daniel ESC44, who is tweeting the Uku Suvista video of Black every day until they tweet something.
Oh, no, dude, we don't need that. We don't need it.
No. What, the Uku Suvista video of Blackbird?
No. BBC, put us out of our misery, please.
Nobody wants that. At in the BBC, nobody wants that. Nobody wants to hear Blackbird, so give us something.
Sounds like a fucking gorilla.
Rory, this is not your sex tape.
Shut up. Oh my god.
I think I killed Jazzy.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Oh god. Last bit. Come on, we can do this.
I have one more piece of news left.
We'll have to leave Jazzy. Leave her behind.
It's all right. The last bit of news is about Ukraine. The last bit of news is about Ukraine, so you only need me and Rory for that. So the final bit of news we have for this week is that Go A's song is going to be selected by a jury. The jurors that they have announced include Jamala of jury drama fame, and also she might have
won Eurovision 2016
at some point.
Yeah, she might have won,
as well as Yaroslav Lodijin, Ruskin Kvinta, Dmitro Korkin, and Evgeny Filatov, who is also apparently called the Mannequin.
Yeah. It's quite interesting, actually, because Jamala and Evgeny Filatov were both on the panel in 2019 alongside Verka Serduchka. So, obviously, Goe must trust the 2019 one rather than the 2020 one. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with Goe, because we'd heard rumblings that maybe it might just be an internal selection, maybe it will be a 5-song national selection, or like there's been conflicting reports about what's been going on, but I'm glad now that we have a little bit more sort of concrete sort of facts about what's going on.
Like, it feels like it's a national final, but a national final behind closed doors because it's still internal, then the results are going to be on the 10th of March.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, it's still going to be an internal selection, apparently.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, well,
I feel like we've heard so many conflicting messages coming out of Ukraine ever since the 2020 contest got cancelled. Like, yes, okay, Goe are coming back. Fantastic. Love Goe, love Solovey. And then it's like, ooh, they're singing in English. Ooh, maybe there'll be a national final. No, there's not going to be a national final. Oh, wait, there is a national final, but there's only going to be a jury vote. And now I honestly, I won't trust them until it's chosen, but I'm still hyped to hear what they go for.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And given, they've just come out with their newest song, Shum, which is an absolute banger. And
it's so good.
It's so good. And, good to see people are standing jaw heart music again, yet deciding to completely sleep on Parmumeng. So, listen to Parmumeng for clear skin. I'm
really, really excited for Goe's song because, over the course of 2020, 2021, this Solovey became my winner of the 2020, what would have been the 2020 contest. So I'm really excited to see what they bring.
Wait, did Jazzy and I actually agree on something?
Oh my god, what is this? I don't like this.
Is he agreeing today?
Maybe
it's
Lockdown 3 has just gotten to us all and broken us down.
But that concludes the news.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, so with all of that news, we are all ready to go for all of our national selections tonight. In terms of who's covering who, I am going to be covering France's national selection tonight, so please do follow me there if you're looking to see whether or not Barbara Pravi wins, or who knows, maybe we might get a shock. We might have Pony X win. We might have fucking Andrea Mad win, although I will riot if that is the case. Yeah, and who's covering in Lithuania tonight?
Jazzy is.
He is covering in Lithuania tonight.
Yes. And who's covering Norway tonight?
I'm covering Norway tonight.
Woo!
Yay!
Yeah, so we've got all sorts that we're going to be, covering tonight. So please do follow our Twitter for that. And yeah, that brings an end to this episode of That Eurovision podcast. I'd really like to thank Jazzy and Rosie just for, recapping and giving opinions about everything that's been going on in Eurovision world, because, we're really starting to pick up the pace now. Who knows, maybe these new sections are going to be like an hour long from now or something. Who knows? But yeah, in the meantime, please do continue to follow us on all of our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at That You're a Podcast. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. So please do, follow us there so you always get notified for whenever a new episode comes out. And yeah, in these next couple of weeks, please do continue to follow us on all of our social media as well as we continue on with all of these so many national selections. And yeah, just also check out our articles that are coming out now because, we're going to be live on the scene. Boom, 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 But yes, shall we all say goodbye?
Bye.
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 I said bye.